CoinEx Price Prediction for 2025. Only a 40 million market cap? The underestimated Binance killer potential? Imagine there's an exchange token with just a 40 million market cap and a burn mechanism, just like Binance. Many investors are currently overlooking the CoinEx token, CET, even though it has massive potential. In this video, I'll show you why right now could be the perfect time for this low-cap altcoin. Welcome to 10x Crypto, your channel for honest, data-driven altcoin analysis. Why is everyone talking about Binance Coin but no one about the CoinEx token? The CoinEx token has just a $40 million market cap and over 73% of the tokens have already been burned. This is one of the most deflationary exchange tokens in the world. And that's exactly why this coin could have the underestimated Binance killer potential. But first, let's start with an introduction. What is the CoinEx token? It's the utility token of the CoinEx exchange, launched in 2018, built on its own blockchain, the CoinEx Smart Chain. The CoinEx token has a built-in burning mechanism. Every month, CoinEx buys back 20% of the trading fees. This permanently burns tokens and naturally reduces the supply. Crypto traders often pay high fees. With the CoinEx token, you get fee discounts of up to 50%. Plus VIP access, staking rewards, and governance rights. So, more benefits, lower costs. CoinEx Smart Chain runs on proof of stake. That makes SET extremely energy efficient, of course. And low gas fees, EVM compatible, open to DeFi applications. Before we jump back into the analysis, feel free to grab yourself a coffee. And leave a like for me. And if you want to become an insider, check out my group, the 10x Insiders. It's free. There we exchange ideas about exciting altcoins. And you also get insights into the 10x Elite. Take a look. But be careful, here's a disclaimer. My channel is not financial advice, it's purely for informational purposes. Let's get back to the market cap. With $40 million, the market cap is extremely tiny compared to BNB with its 100 billion. So that means there's extreme growth potential. This is definitely where the opportunity lies. That's why in this area it gets a strong 9. Next, circulating supply. Out of 2.77 billion tokens, only 25% are in circulation. That means a lot of tokens could still enter the market, but thanks to the monthly burns, the supply is significantly reduced. That lowers the risk a bit. That's why it only gets a 4 in this category. Next, the roadmap. CoinEx delivers new features like pre-token trading, strategy tools, constant monthly burns, sponsors, and so on. The roadmap is realistic and transparent, and it's being implemented. A strong 8. Now let's move on to the team. The founder is Hypo Young, formerly a Bitcoin investor. In addition, there's the Via Bitcoin team, with experience in mining, blockchain, and the global exchange business. The team has been delivering reliably for years, our strong plus point. So, an 8 here. Next, the narrative. The narrative, deflationary tokens, user benefits, governance, security. It combines classic exchange utility with DeFi integration. It's relevant in times of regulation. They also have proof of reserves and a sustainable model. A strong 7. What problem are they solving? The problem, of course, is high fees, centralized control. Their solutions are fee discounts, governance, and VIP programs. CET saves costs, gives users a say, and ensures token burns. Strength, 8. Next, sustainability. The CET token runs on the CoinEx Smart Chain, which uses proof of stake. That means it's energy efficient, scalable, and much greener than proof of work. Strength, 9. Next, capital and investors. No VC hype. CoinEx is self-financed, strong thanks to rising fee revenues, and even without big names, they're still financially solid. A solid 6 here. Next, competition. This is where it gets interesting. BNB, and of course HT, KCS, all in the same sentiment. But CET is still small, with a strong burn mechanism, and maybe has potential as a dark horse if they keep growing. A strong 6. By the way, if you want to see more altcoin analyses, check out my playlist, the CoinEx Universe. And next weekend, I have 2 more exciting altcoins that almost no one has on their radar yet. So subscribe to the channel and turn on the bell so you don't miss anything. Let's move on to marketing. CoinEx does events, call campaigns, and community programs less aggressively than Binance and KuCoin, but still a solid 7. So, how simple is the idea? In the end, it's super simple. Hold, save on fees, stake, and have a say. The concept is understandable for any beginner. Strength, 9. So, what is the long-term vision? More governance, Web3 integration, global expansion, deflationary supply, long-term stability, and the plans also seem realistic. Strength, 8. Then it's deflationary. That means, after all, 73% have already been burned. That is deflationary. And long-term bullish, strength, 9. Then FTV is at 570 million, which is more than 14 times the market cap. That's high and ultimately a risk, but burns help ensure dilution doesn't remain an issue here. In this area, a 6. Then volume and market cap, what do those look like? Here, the ratio is above 0.01, which is positive. A strong 8 here. Then token distribution. The team and marketing had lockup periods. The burns stabilize everything, no major dumps are known, just a solid 7 here. Next, top coin holders. The top 10 hold 50 to 60%, but that's pretty typical for an exchange. Not perfect, since it's obviously not very decentralized, so only a 5 here. Then the utility, there are fee discounts, VIP levels, governance, staking, and gas fees. So it's actually usable, tangible, and can be put to use immediately. A strong 8 in this area. Now let's move on to the community. Almost 500,000 followers on X, active on Telegram, global expansion, and an engaged community. But of course nowhere near as big as Binance. Still, a strong 8 here. By the way, are you also a holder of CET, or do you find the exchange interesting? Let me know in the comments. #set. So what's coming up in terms of events? Monthly burns, events with sponsorships, and new features on the roadmap. The token is present and remains interesting. That's already a solid 7 in this category. The CoinEx token is probably one of the most underrated exchange tokens on the market. Compared to Binance or KuCoin, they're almost forgotten. But let's get to the most important points. On my 10x ranking list, they achieved 74.3%, which is a solid result. But let's take a closer look at this conclusion now. In the end, they have a strong tokenomics thanks to the burns and many followers on X. Clear utility, and they are well rated. Definitely an interesting candidate for the watch list, especially when it comes to exchange tokens, but of course with an absolute risk since they're still in the low cap range and the competition is extremely tough. If you want to know which altcoins I have in my personal portfolio and want access to the full ranking list I just showed, or my 10x indicator, then check out my 10x Elite. Here you can scan the QR code. Or you can simply check everything in the video description. Let's move on to the price scenarios. Let's start with the bear scenario. The market moves more sideways. Big players like Binance or Ethereum get almost all the attention. That means CET remains small, maybe 3 cents to 7 cents. Let's move on to the normal scenario. The community grows, it keeps getting stronger. The burns reduce the supply, then we could see prices from 10 cents to 15 cents. Now let's move on to the optimistic scenario. Imagine they keep attracting more and more traders, even bigger events. The token is taken seriously, so prices between 20 and 30 cents become possible. Now let's get to the very optimistic scenario that no one thinks is possible. The challenger, the small challenger CoinEx against KuCoin, against Binance, but they grow and gain market share. Then we might see prices from 75 cents to $1.50. But let's look even further ahead now. 2030. The crypto market grows massively in the next bull run, and the CoinEx token keeps getting stronger because, of course, the exchange itself is also getting stronger. Then we are talking about prices of over $5 per token. By the way, if you want to buy altcoins or the CoinEx token, I'll link you to an exchange below where you can buy it. Or you can use my favorite exchange, which I'll link here with a QR code. There's also a bonus if you sign up. So now let's take a look together, as always, at the chart analysis. Hello and welcome to my chart analysis of the CoinEx token. First, just for your information, I use TradingView and a custom developed indicator that shows me 2 things: whether an altcoin or Bitcoin is in an overbought zone. In other words, a lot of people are buying coins, for example here. And then we enter overbought zones, which is indicated here with a red dot. For me, that would mean now I have to consider whether I should exit or at least take some partial profits. On the other hand, if a lot of people are selling, it gets indicated because we're in an oversold zone with a green dot. That was a point for me where I thought, okay, now I could start considering an entry or at least gather more information. So, what does the situation look like for the CoinEx token at the moment? We can see that we were sold off heavily here again, and for example, a green dot was formed here as well. And then in the end we were pushed upwards. Here the green dot appeared. After that we were pushed up by about 36%. Overall on the daily chart we're actually quite high up. As you can see here, we're almost back in the overbought zone. Therefore at the moment I would definitely wait for now. We're in a much too high range here. It could go down again at any time. So I would be cautious myself at the moment. By the way, if you want to know when I get into altcoins, or if you want to use the 10x indicator yourself, then check out the 10x Elite. There you'll get access to the 10x indicator. Now I have another exciting altcoin for you before you go. Definitely check out this analysis to see why this altcoin ranks so high on my 10 times ranking list. All of that is covered in this analysis. Have fun and see you in a bit.